NFL fans, welcome back to another episode of the J All Day Show. We have Week 10 power rankings for you guys today. But the Monday night game didn't happen, Jay. How could you possibly do your power rankings? Well, the Buccaneers are playing the Chiefs. No matter who wins or loses, they would still be in the same exact spot for me. So you guys are getting your power rankings a little bit earlier today. Okay, I want to do something a little bit different. Half of the field is already in their places, right? So I'm going to run through them real quick and get to the top 15. That's what really matters, right? That's what you're here for. Who's in my top 10? Who's in my top 5? Who is my number 1 spot? Let's get into it. Let's kick off these Week 10 power rankings with my bottom tier. The two worst teams in the NFL, the Panthers and the Raiders. The Panthers, in my opinion, have the worst roster in the NFL. They don't really have one bona fide superstar at all whatsoever. The Raiders have a couple. Crosby and Brock Bowers are going to be great no matter if they're on the Raiders or not. That's why the Panthers are coming in at 32. The Raiders are coming in at 31. The Raiders just fired anyone who has anything to do with this offense on the coaching side, right? They're all gone. They're starting over from scratch. We'll see what happens in the weeks to come. All right, coming in at number 30 is the Titans. Their quarterback situation is putrid. Tony Pollard's been pretty good at the running back position, but they traded away DeAndre Hopkins. Calvin Ridley has been okay so far. I do like their defense, but still pretty mediocre in my opinion. Next up is the New England Patriots coming in at 29. I like what Drake May was doing. He had a good comeback in Sunday's game, but blew it in overtime with a really, really bad pick. But he's young. He's still learning the NFL game. I think they could have something with Drake May if they gave him an offensive line that could actually block and some receivers that could get open and catch the ball. I think Drake May could be a top 20 quarterback in the NFL. Next up, guys, coming in at 28 is the New Orleans Saints. They just fired Dennis Allen, the head coach there. Derek Carr played like crap. They lost to the Panthers. They lost 7 games in a row. This is a terrible team. Terrible, terrible. Next up is the Cleveland Browns, right? Jameis Winston came back down to earth this week. He was the Jameis Winston that we all know and loathe. 3 interceptions. The Browns are not very good. Probably the worst offense in the NFL, probably. Them and the Panthers are neck and neck right now. The defense is still slightly above average, but they're just on the field so much they're going to get tired out. I love Denzel Ward and Myles Garrett. We'll see if they make it through the trade deadline and still be with the Browns. And at number 26 is the New York Giants. If you look at the Giants, I think all their losses except for 2 are pretty close games, 8 points or less. They could easily have 5 wins, right? But they only have 2 right now. Daniel Jones plays hard, man. He doesn't give up on himself. And I think if you put Daniel Jones in the right situation, he could be successful-ish. If you put him on the Vikings, I think Daniel Jones does okay, right? Like Sam Darnold's doing right now. I love Malik Neighbors. Their offensive line is horrendous. They're so bad. I like Tyron Tracy. So the future is looking bright. They got some skill position players, right? And I love the D-line, Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns. They need some serious safety and cornerback help. Letting Xavier McKinney walk out the door was extremely stupid. And Saquon Barkley is balling out. What the F are the Giants doing? They come in at 26. All right, here's my 25, the 21 tier. We got the Jaguars, Bears, Cowboys, Jets, Dolphins. The Jaguars, they could be on the bottom tier. They just missed out. The Bears got the brakes blown off of them by the Cardinals. The coaching, the offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, and the head coach, Eberflus, are just so bad. Not being able to get anything out of this offense with all those weapons is pretty pathetic in my opinion. Talking about pathetic, next up we got the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott was caught on the sideline going, man, we suck. Yeah, you do suck. Super bad. But it gets worse for the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb has the AC joint in your shoulder strain or sprain, whatever they want to call it. They said he might play on Sunday, but with Dak Prescott being out and Cooper Rush being the quarterback versus the Eagles, I don't know if CeeDee Lamb plays in this game. Look for the Eagles to blow out the Cowboys. It's only getting worse for the Cowboys. Micah Parsons might play. We'll have to see. And the Jets are coming in at 22. They had a win for once last week. They looked okay. The offense looked serviceable. The defense is still underperforming, in my opinion. Aaron Rodgers is going on all these talk shows like they won the Super Bowl. He's all happy. We won a game. You lost 5 in a row before that, you bum. All right, next up is the Dolphins. They played the Bills really, really, really tough, man. What a game. Dolphins-Bills in Week 9. It was an incredible game. Bills win it on a last-second field goal, but what a game. Two in that offense are coming along. They could probably break into my top 20 with a couple wins, but right now they're just not playing team football. The offensive line is still not very good. The defense is underperforming. They got great skill position players, but what, Jayden Waddle had like negative 2 yards receiving? How is that even possible? I don't understand what they're doing at all whatsoever. It's not looking good for the Dolphins. Then, kicking off the 20 through 16 tier is the Colts. Flacco looks like Flacco. He's older. He's slow in the pocket. He can't really like make plays with his feet. He does get the ball off on time and throws pretty accurate. He threw a bad pick, really bad in that game. The Seahawks are hit and miss. I think once they get DK Metcalf back, they'll be a little bit better, but they're really missing him right now. That offensive line is a dumpster fire. They are so bad. I might as well be blocking for Geno Smith. That's how bad this offensive line has been. Yikes. All right, next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? They probably would be a little bit higher, but now Godwin is done for the year. Mike Evans, like, that hamstring is destroyed, so even when he comes back, he's not going to be 100%. Baker Mayfield's trying to put the Buccaneers on his back and carry them, but that causes turnovers. The running game's not great. I do like Bucky Irving, though. Rashad White, not so much. And the Bengals moving up a little bit. I like the Bengals offense. I dislike the Bengals defense, right? The Broncos have come down considerably. They got their brakes blown off of them by the Ravens, man. The Ravens looked really, really good. How they lost to the Browns, guys, I'll still never, ever know. I'll never know. All right, let's move into the top 15, guys. We're here for the top 15. All right, coming in at 15 is the 49ers. The immensely underperforming 49ers. Could they rise up? Absolutely they could. The defense is underperforming considerably. If you're not named Warner or Bosa, the defense has looked pretty cheeks. Ayuk's done for the year. Deebo Samuel's been sick, hurt, not looking good. Brock Purdy hasn't been the same. Christian McCaffrey could potentially come back this week. They're coming off a bye. Look for them to get right potentially, right? Coming in at number 14 is the Arizona Cardinals, man. Jonathan Gannon has that defense playing tough, and the offense, you know, one of my favorite offenses in the NFL right now. James Conner, Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride. If you can get, you know, 2 guards in the draft that could be, you know, top 15 guys, this Arizona offense looks considerably better next year. They're not a top 10 team yet, but they're knocking on the door, right? Coming in at number 13 is the Packers. We saw that the Packers aren't ready to compete with the top of the NFC. On the road, in the rain, Jared Goff lit up the Packers. He looked really, really good. I was really surprised how well Jared Goff took on the elements and beat the brakes off the Packers. Yeah, the Lions are the team to beat, guys. They really, really are. All right, not a team that's surging up my power rankings is the Rams. The Rams dominate that game even more. Puka Nacua doesn't punch that guy in the face and get ejected. I love Matt Stafford, dropping dimes like always. They're going to be a top 10 team in 2024 very, very soon. All right, coming in at number 11, rounding out this tier is the Chargers, right? The Chargers are an excellent team. They play great defense, a big win on Sunday. They just do the little things right. And in the NFL, if you can block, you can tackle, you can run the ball effectively, you can win games. That's what the Chargers are doing. That's why they're at number 11 in my tier rankings. All right, here are the top 10. Coming in at number 10, the Texans. They're underperforming, in my opinion. They're going to be sliding down farther and further, I think, this season. That offensive line has been terrible. Penalties. The pass blocking has been atrocious. Luckily, Joe Mixon can't be tackled because he's doing an excellent job. The defense, especially the corners, not great in my opinion. The pass rush could, use a little more juice as well. Texans come in at number 10. Number 9 is the Minnesota Vikings, guys. When they're going, man, they look really, really good. I'm a big fan of the Vikings. Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison, Sam Darnold playing pretty good. Hopefully Blake Cashman comes back sooner rather than later. He is the heart and soul of that defense, and they've really, really missed him, right? They're coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is the Falcons, guys. The Falcons look really good. The offense is zooming right now, man. Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts, Mooney, London, Bijan Robinson. A pretty good offensive line. I think Kirk Cousins had 3 or 4 touchdown passes again. He has like 3 or 4 touchdown passes every single week. He hasn't been turning the ball over either. He looks really, really good. If you're a Falcons fan, they could sneak into the playoffs and make some noise, guys. I like the Falcons there. Coming in at number 7 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Russell Wilson is really doing great things for this offense. He throws the deep ball really well, gives Pickens and the wide receivers chances to make plays, something Justin Fields could not do. Sure, Fields could pick up some first downs with his legs a little bit, but Russell Wilson, in my opinion, is considerably better than Justin Fields. And that defense, led by Highsmith and TJ Watt, are turnover machines, sack machines. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers coming in at number 7. Number 6, my Philadelphia Eagles, man. They looked great again this week, even though Nick Sirianni is a bumbling moron at the coaching position. He is just so bad at coaching, man. I don't even know what to say. He not kicking extra points, going for it on multiple fourth downs. I mean, the dude is just, he needs to get his head examined, guys. All right, now the top 5 in the NFL Week 10, my power rankings. Coming in at number 5 is the Ravens, who got back on track, looking like that dominant team that they've been several weeks before they ran into the Browns and Jameis Winston and lost somehow. Whoo, baby. But Zay Flowers is really coming into his own, man. They traded for Deontay Johnson. That's really going to help out this offense. I mean, what else can you say? Lamar Jackson, Henry. I mean, they're really putting the pieces together. Can this defense hold up? The defense is going to be whether or not they can make a run for a Super Bowl. It's all going to come down to this defense, a defense that's been considerably underperforming, guys. All right, coming in at number 4 is the Commanders. I like what Jaden Daniels is doing, but the last couple weeks, barely winning games. They just beat the Giants by 5. They barely beat the Bears, who you see are not a very good football team. I think once the Commanders starts to play very good teams, you're going to see them slide a little bit in the power rankings. They're still in the top 5 for now, but they're not better than the Buffalo Bills, who, in my opinion, are number 3 right now. They're just playing great complementary football. They even played well this week without Amari Cooper. We see the element that Amari Cooper, a true number 1 wide receiver, does to this offense. They missed him this week. They still got the win over the Dolphins in a very tough game. A lot of fun to watch. That was one of the best games of the week. I told you guys all week this was going to be a lot of fun to watch. The Bills are number 3. Chiefs still coming in at number 2. And my Detroit Lions, my Super Bowl pick to win this year, even without Aiden Hutchinson, they continue to just dominate every square inch of the football field, man. It's really, really, I love it. I love watching it. I love their game. The running backs, Gibbs and Montgomery, are amazing. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff has been nearly perfect this year. And the defense is gritty. They're not great, but gritty. The Chiefs' offense has been pretty putrid so far this year. We'll see how they look against a disheveled Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tonight, they should get the win. The Chiefs, for a team that won the Super Bowl, has a ridiculously easy schedule. It does help that they play in one of the worst divisions in the NFL. Outside of the Chiefs, it's a pretty mediocre division for the last decade, right? All right, everyone, that's my Week 10 power rankings. Let me know in the comments below. Did I do your team justice? Do you like my power rankings? Am I a genius or an absolute dipshit? I would love to know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.